At the beginning of Proverbs chapter 27, uh, Solomon says to his readers, do not boast about tomorrow, for you do not know what it may bring forth. And there's a thing that somebody I once heard said, do not play Russian roulette with eternity. Do not play around with your soul. And, there's people I've seen who didn't really watch it, who weren't careful, didn't perhaps stay in the Word. I knew a named Bob. He attended service, the same congregation that I did in Brooklyn. He was part of a wedding party there. And then one day I saw him in a diner. He said he was back with the lost people of the world. And it was, I don't know how long after that, I found out from some friends' parents that he was gone. And you know what? I could say that probably he was trying to get back on his drugs. And like I said, don't play Russian roulette with eternity. Is like he didn't realize, that we got to realize once you've heard the gospel, once you've been a believer, the devil is really after you more than those who haven't believed. And then there was a man named Dan. He was a member of a congregation I attended, and he led a Bible study there, and he fell back into sin, hanging out with the wrong men, and he was dead before his 30th birthday, and a lot of people were speculating, asking, I said, Dan passed away. He said, was it from AIDS? I said, I guess so. And then he was, the name Larry, attended a rally at Shea Stadium, but all he wanted to serve the Lord on his own terms. And he said it's okay to accept the Lord as long as he doesn't tell you what to do. But then is he the Lord? If you say he's the Lord, then you're under his authority. And I think I recall that he was in the early 80s, he was in jail for some time. There's a woman named Terry I met at a conference, and I saw her a few months later, and she talked to me that I had changed. And what, a friend I saw a while later, she says, so how is she? And she said, Terry just wants to serve the Lord on her own terms. And why are you going to look at me and tell me that I've changed, that I'm a completed Jew, but why is it you don't want to serve the Lord under his authority? Why is it you aren't really living a right and holy life before God? Now, I was in a place in the 90s and about 7 years ago called Teen Challenge. And you know what? There's a lot of people. It's got a 86% sex success rate. And that means there's a lot of, you get about 3/4 plus of people who are going on the rest of their lives without bondage to drugs or alcohol. And there are some who don't, and some, they want to play around, they think they can play around with their sin, and they end up, perhaps if they're not a member of a congregation, they're gone passed away within 2 months. And I just saw too much of it. And then there was a man named Brian. He was here in the, 70s. He played the piano here, but he wanted a woman more, an unsaved woman more than he wanted to serve the Lord. And, you just can't do that, James said, come you who say, let's go and buy and sell and be in this city for some time. But he says, you don't know what happens on tomorrow. But you say, if the Lord wills, we will do such and such. And he also said that friendship with the world is enmity with God. You can't be a friend of the world and a friend with God at the same time. And Paul said to the Corinthians, he says, do not be unequally yoked together with unbelievers. He says, for what fellowship does light have with darkness, or the temple of God with idols? It's like the world or the Lord. And you have to choose the Lord, and you can't be running around with the world and running around with the Lord at the same time. Amen.